Hello, my pre-algebra students. This is Mr. Knight. This is your video, your 3.1 video, solving two-step equations. So let's go ahead and get started. There are no vocabulary words, so we're just going to jump right into it, get our feet wet, if you will. So we're looking at example 1. Excuse me, apologize. And our problem is 4x plus 9 is equal to negative 7. So you start with your equation, and then we are going to subtract 9 from both sides. And so the 9's on the left will cancel, that equals 0. I'm left with just 4x on the left, and then negative 7 minus 9 gives me negative 16. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times x gives me x on the left-hand side. And then 16 divided by 4 is 4. Negative divided by positive is a negative. So that gives me negative 4. And then so the solution would be negative 4. All right. So if we do our check, we're going to take that 4 and plug it right back in for x. That's negative 4, excuse me. So I have 4 times negative 4 plus 9. Not sure that's whether it equals negative 7 or not. And so 4 times negative 4 would be negative, and then that's 16, and negative 16, and then plus 9 gives me negative 7, and negative 7 does equal negative 7. Therefore, I know that my solution checks out. I know that the value of my x is correct. All right. So let's see, I think now it's your turn. Yes, there are two. You have a 1 and you have a number 2. Go ahead and pause the video, work through both of these, start the video back up, and we'll check our answers. Okay, welcome back. So we start with our equation. 3x plus 8 is equal to 26. We're going to subtract 8 from both sides. That gives me 0. I'm left with just 3x over there on the left. So I have 3x is equal to 18. You're going to divide both sides by 3. That gives me 1 on the left. I'm left with just x is equal to 6. And if I do a check, which I don't have a lot of room here, but so I have 3 times the 6 plus the 8 is equal to 26. That's 18 plus 8 is equal to 26. 18 plus 8 is 26 is equal to 26. Therefore, I know my solution is correct. All right, let's do the next one. Negative 21 is equal to 4x plus 7. We're going to subtract 7 from both sides, right? That gives me 0 over here. You're left with just 4x. So I have 4x is equal to 21, both negative. Therefore, it's 28, and it's negative 28. Then you're going to divide both by 4. And 4 is on the right-hand side, gives me 1. 1 times x is x. Negative 28 divided by a 4. A positive 4 would give me negative 7. And let's do our check real quick. Okay. So I have negative 21 is equal to 4 times that negative 7 plus the 7. So I have negative 21 is equal to negative 28 plus the 7. Negative 21 is equal to negative 21. All right, now the pen's not writing. So that checks out, so I know my solution is correct. All right, so let's see what's next here. So now we're using addition and multiplication to solve the two-step equations. All right, so we start with our equation. X divided by 3 minus 4 is equal to negative 1. I am going to add 4 to both sides, add 4 to both sides. All right, and so now the 4's on the left-hand side will cancel each other, gives me 0. We're left with just x divided by 3 is equal to negative 1 plus a positive 4 is going to give me a 3. All right, so then I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. All right, multiply both sides by 3. And then I have 3 over here. And so I know the 3's on the left will cancel. That gives me 1 basically. Or I should reduce to 1, excuse me. And then 1 times x just gives me the x. And I have the 3 times 3, which gives me 9. So I believe that the solution is 9. Let's multiply by 3. All right, so right now let's do our check real quick. X divided by 3 minus 4 is equal to negative 1. I believe that x is 9. If I do 9 divided by 3, that gives me 3 minus the 4. And then 3 minus 4, excuse me, let me erase that. Yeah, what's my red? Okay, so 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 minus the 4 would be -1. -1 is equal to -1. All right, so I know that my solution checks out. So I know that the value of x is correct. So now it's your turn, adding and subtracting for two-step equations. So pause the video, do number 3, and then do number 4. Start the video back up, and we'll check our answers. All right, so we have x divided by 4 minus 7 is equal to 2. We're going to add 7 to both sides, add 7 to both sides. We left with just x over 4, or divided by 4 is equal to a 9. And then multiply both sides by 4. They cancel on the left. So x is equal to 36. All right, so if I do my check real quick, I've got 36 divided by 4 minus 7 is equal to 2. 36 divided by 4 is 9, minus 7 is equal to 2. 9 minus 7 is equal to 2 is equal to 2. The check works out, therefore I know my solution is correct. Now if I look at, if I look at number 4, I have 8 is equal to b divided by 5 minus 3. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. Yes, add 3 to both sides. It gives me 0 on the right, and I'm left with just b over 5, b divided by 5, and that gives me 11 on the left-hand side. Then you're going to multiply both sides by 5. That gives me 1 on the right-hand side. You're left with just b. So I have b is equal to 5 times 11 would be 55. So let's do our check here. So my check, kind of writing outside the box, ain't I? So I have 8 is equal to b divided by 5 minus 3. 8 is equal to 55 divided by 5 minus 3. 8 is equal to 11 minus 3. 8 is equal to 8. This check works out, so therefore I know my solution is correct. All right. So let's see what's next. All right, I think this is our last one on 3.1. So we have an equation here. 2 minus 3x is equal to 17. We're going to be working with a negative coefficient now. So let's go ahead and work this problem out. So there's our, we write the original equation, and then we're going to subtract 2 from both sides, okay? And then that means the 2's cancel on the left-hand side. I'm left with just a negative 3x, and 17 minus 2 would give me 15. And then you're going to divide both by a negative 3, both sides by a negative 3. All right. Anytime you solve an equation and you're solving for a variable, you never leave it negative. So I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, if you will, by dividing or multiplying by the negative and the value itself. All right. So on the left-hand side, it equals 1. You're left with just x on the left, and then you have 15 divided by 3 is 5, and a positive divided by a negative would be a negative. Therefore, my answer would be negative 5. So I think the solution is negative 5. So let's do a check. I'm going to plug that back in. So I have 2 minus 3 times a negative 5 might or might not equal 17. Well, 3 times that would be a negative 15, right? And then subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. So therefore I have 2 plus 15, which gives me 17, is equal to 17. So my solution, my check checks out. Therefore I know the solution for x is valid. So let's see, I think it is your turn now. You have 2 problems. You have 5 and you have number 6. Pause the video, work through both of these. Once you finish, start the video back up, and we'll check our answers together, okay? All right, welcome back. So let's write our problem here is equal to 19. 3 minus 2y is equal to 19. Subtract 3 from both sides. Gives me 0 on the left. I'm left with negative 2y is equal to 16. Divide both by negative 2, both sides by negative 2. That gives me 1 on the left. You're left with just y. Okay, so y is equal to 16 divided by 2 is 8. Positive divided by negative is a negative. So let's do our check real quick. So we've got our check. Okay, so I have 3 minus 2 times a negative 8 is equal to 19. 3 minus 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. is equal to 19. 3 minus a negative 16 is the same as 3 plus a negative 16. 3 plus 16 gives me 19. 19 does equal 19. Therefore, I know that my solution is correct. So now let's look at number 6 over here. You have negative 5 is equal to 4 minus m. All right, so I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. That equals 0 on the right-hand side. You're left with just a negative m. Okay, negative m. And then negative 5, take away another negative 4, or 4 would be negative 9. Okay, so now here's the question. You never solve a variable and leave it negative, so I have to do something with that negative. And if you remember your properties for negative, negative 1 times a negative 1 equals a positive 1, right? Or negative 1 divided by a negative 1 is equal to a positive 1. So the option you have whenever you have a negative variables, you can multiply both sides by a negative 1, or you can divide both sides by a negative 1. It does not matter. You will still come out with the same answer. So I'm just going to divide both sides by a negative 1. Divide both sides by a negative 1. A negative m divided by a negative m, I should say m divided by 1 is still m, so I haven't changed the value of that. A negative divided by a negative gives me a positive, so I have resolved the issue with my negative variable, if you will. Now, if I look on the so on the right-hand side you have m, on the left-hand side you have 9 divided by 1 is 9, negative divided by negative is a positive, so my solution is 9 is equal to m. Now, to verify that that is correct, remember, always do your check. That'll tell you whether your variable, your solution is correct or not. So I have negative 5 is equal to 4 minus my m. My m would be 9 in this case. So negative 5 is equal to 4 minus 9. 4 minus 9 is negative 5. My check works out, so therefore I know my solution for m is correct. All right. So let's see. I think that was the last one. Yes, that is the end. So that kind of ends our video, 3.1 video. So have an awesome day, have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next video.